What's good YouTube, Ben here, welcome to the next video on the channel. In this one, I'm going to give you a bit of a different one. This is my first ever speedrun event, charity speedrun. Let's get into this. But before we actually dive into that, I want to quickly say that this was done almost 5 years ago. This was done way back in like 2021, 2020 era. It was a speedrun of Zelda Breath of the Wild doing Great Plateau. But without any further ado, let's get into the speedrun. But don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Don't forget you can also support the channel completely for free just by liking, commenting, and subscribing. It really does help. Don't forget you can also support the channel even further by becoming a channel member from as little as 99 pence per month. And don't forget I do live stream. When I go live here on YouTube and over on Twitch and on Kick. My streams here on YouTube are in the shorts form feed, some more for mobile. If you want to catch the exact same streams at the exact same time in full 1080p, feel free to join me on Twitch or Kick. Those links are in the description below. Terrafirm Alive, and we're going to be doing some Breath of the Wild Great Plateau Any %. Now, quickly before we get into doing the actual run, one, I am rocking with my own splits because, well, for two reasons. One, in case I get a PB, and two, I want to show you guys how rough a run of this can go if it goes pretty rough. Because this is one of the most precise and accurate speedruns you're ever going to see. And I'll explain when we get to those sections why it's so precise. I also want to thank Blitz quickly as well for letting me host my run, and if you guys aren't already following me on Twitch, then follow me on Twitch at Terrafirm Live. I'll remind you at the end. Let's get into this. So the time begins once we gain control of Link inside of the game, so the timer I have is set to -3 seconds, because that's the kind of delay that my capture card has when it comes to the actual console itself. So hopefully everything is working as intended. Also, there is a lack of music in this game, because a lot of the music in this game is ambient. So it's there, but it's very, very quiet in the background, and I can't turn that up without actually affecting the whole stream volume, and I don't want to do that. So let's get into this. I'm also going to say now, yes, actually, thank you, Danuz. Also, shout outs to the person who made the layouts. They are fantastic. I'm going to say this now, I have been running this game for about a month, so if I do make some mistakes, go easy on me. I have not been running this game for very long. But time is going to begin right about now. Alright, so we're going to start off the run by picking up the Sheikah Slate. We need this, it's going to be the way we escape from the Shrine of Resurrection. Now, the whole run of this basically takes you from the Shrine of Resurrection to the Paraglider, which allows, well, it's basically half of what the full any % actually is. So I'm also going to be playing in English. The fastest way to run this game is in French, because obviously French is a faster language. But you're running in English because I want to have you guys read the text if you want to. It's up to you guys. Thank you, Lethal. Lethal is actually one of my close friends in real life. He could attest to how hard this game is to run. I've showed him, and he's tried, and it is brutal. So we're going to open up the Sheikah Slate in order to get rid of that little cutscene that happens the first time you use the slate. And we're going to jump into this corner and try and get a correct angle, and then we're going to... Ooh, okay, there. And we're going to escape the shrine. This allows us to clip out of bounds. Now, the reason we do this is because we want to be able to get out without triggering, like, 10 cutscenes, which would be instantly slower. Plus, we're going in this direction anyway. And for anyone wondering why I'm looking up, it's because I'm playing on my big TV on the wall. I was going to play on my smaller monitor, but because of how precise these tricks actually are, I'm using my big TV to give me some assist, because, again, some of the tricks are incredibly precise when it comes to your angle, when it comes to your speed. It's really insane. And for a very short speedrun, it's actually pretty intense. Like, it is actually insane how intense this run can actually get. So we're going to grab this pot lid and these chili peppers, because we need the chili peppers for health restore. Because the first part of the run, we're in a cold section where we're going to continuously take damage over time until we get out of it. And, of course, in Breath of the Wild, for anyone who's played it, knows that there are heat resistance and cold resistance stuff. But we don't have any of that because we just started. So we're just going to do that, shield surf down here, and grab the woodcutter's axe, which we're also going to need for a few of the tricks. And then we get interrupted by Zelda, which is interesting. the never-ending pot lid. I'm really hoping my pot lid doesn't break, because that's gonna suck and be really slow and horrible. And if you look at me, I'm not running normally, so I'm actually doing a trick called whistle sprinting. Whistle sprinting is where you hold down the whistle button, which is D-pad down, and hold forward on the movement stick at the same time while smashing B, and what it allows you to do is it allows you to run at top speed without dropping any of your stamina wheel, which is really dope. And I'm also going to quickly state there is a chance I could die here because of these bokoblins. These bokoblins have some kind of janky RNG. No. Oh, we got him just in time. Very nice. I'm going to quickly eat as well in case I get sniped by the others, which I don't. Very cool. Alright. There is a very small chance that you can get completely two-shot there. And it doesn't kill your run. In fact, you spawn right there, but it still sucks. And we don't really want that in the marathon run. Okay, coming up is the first shrine. So there's 4 shrines we have to complete for the run. And we can't enter them normally, because to enter them normally, we would have to raise the tower in the plateau. So, we're going to use 2 glitches. One called skew, which allows us to obscure our angle, and the second is clipping, which allows us to clip straight through the wall. So I'm going to do a shield surf onto that spot to get the right angle, and then hopefully, if I line this up correctly, boom, we clip through. And just crouch and examine to go through. Whistle sprinting is very cool. I also try and read the chat as much as I can, but again, this run is very intense, so there's a lot of sections where it's difficult for me to do so. Alright, and unfortunately, this run is plagued with a few cutscenes like this. This cutscene's about a minute long. Well, it's not a minute, it's probably about 35 seconds, but it's still quite nuts. Now, after this shrine is one of the tricks coming up that I could fail a couple of times, because, again, of how precise it is. If I get it, but don't get it the best way, I'm probably going to do a sort of a backup that's a bit slower, but it's fine, because it allows me to get through just as clear. But no, hopefully the use of my own splits will just illustrate how, like, good or bad a run of this can go, depending on how well I do. Alright, so there's not really much else to this shrine other than running through it. There is a strat near the end where you save about 2 seconds, but I'm not going to do it, because it's risky if I then fall off, I then game over and have to redo the whole shrine, and yeah, we're not going to do that. So we're just going to go up to this boulder, stasis, walk it once, and get rid of it. And that gets us through the shrine. Cool. This run is very good. It's very difficult, though. This is by far not a easy speedrun to learn. I learned this the hard way. So I'm very new to speedrunning. I've only been speedrunning consistently for about 8 months. And my first speedrun I actually took world record in, which is Elder Scrolls Oblivion Any %. And I didn't remove my sounds. Of course I didn't. Which is, like I said, Elder Scrolls Oblivion Any %. And that run was surprisingly really easy to learn, and didn't take long for me to take record in that. And then I started learning Spyro 3, and I learned very fast that runs are not as easy as that all the time. And then I tried this game. When I tell you that this game took me so long to try and understand how these tricks work, because they are incredibly precise. Oblivion's a very good game, and I would run it, but the any % category on it is very short. It's like a 6-minute speed run. There's way too many RNG heavy elements to it. It's definitely interesting, but it's quite boring to watch, unfortunately. Oh yes, we actually meet Santa Claus. He's gotten rid of his signature red for the black and sort of dark purple. I'm down. I like black and dark purple. Alright, so we're going to stasis this rock, and we're going to hit it 4 times. And then we're going to angle it with an arrow. So this trick is called stasis launching, and it allows us to... Oh gosh. Okay, nice. It's a stasis launch. It allows us to launch it in a way, and we basically just launch with it, which is pretty cool. This is the trick. I'm probably going to fail a couple of times, so I'm going to do a manual save, because you're allowed to load and save as much as you want. This trick is called a bullet time bounce. Now, by setting up a bokoblin in a specific placement, we're able to angle ourselves to do a shield jump off of the bokoblin, bounce off, and it hopefully will carry us all the way to the shrine. And he moved. Okay, I was way too slow. This one is going to take me a couple of attempts to get correct, I guarantee it. This is probably the hardest glitch in this run for me. This trick is insane, but it's also very difficult and very precise. It is not easy. Again, my good friend Lethal, who's in the stream, would attest to that because he's tried it. And he knows how hard this trick is to get correct. Perfect. But I don't know if this is going to carry me all the way, so I'm going to cut it short, because it's not going to carry me. Alright. And I'm also going to do a fall damage cancel, which allows us to fall from any height and survive, which is very cool, and we're just going to go ahead and shield surf down here. Now, the most optimal bullet time bounce would carry me all the way to the shrine, but because I cut it short, it's kind of slow, but it still gets us to where we want to go, so it's fine. But it also allows me to get some food up here, which allows me to heal, which is cool. Although, dropping down here is a bit of a risk, because there's a very small chance, there's exploding barrels to the right there, there's a very small chance that they could actually blow up the barrels and kill themselves. And if that happens, the run is kind of dead, because we need them for another bullet time bounce after this shrine. So I'm going to quickly heal. And then we just got skew again, to then try and line up our angle. We're going to come here, shield roll, and through into the shrine portion. Then we need to line up again and do another shield clip into the shrine. You are right, Lethal. This trick can go incredibly wrong, as you know, as I know. I don't need to manually save there, Sporadic, because it auto-saves when you get to the shrine. So this game, actually, I should mention this, is very weird with its autosaves. And by running this category, I know exactly where the autosaves are and are not going to take effect. The reason I did a manual save before that other bullet time bounce is because sometimes when you do the stasis launch to get up, it will not autosave. And if you die, it then takes you back to the previous shrine, which is a heavy time loss. So if I do get the stasis launch, I will manually save to make sure I get the save. Thank you, Lethal. Thank you, Panda. Okay, so we're going to do Cryon Shrine. Now, this shrine is interesting. There is a really good strat to get through the shrine within a few seconds, but I am not adept at it, and if you fail it a few times, it's a heavy time loss. We're just going to do it a little bit differently. We don't have to worry about this enemy either, because a hit from him will literally do a quarter, so we don't have to worry at all. Very nice. And as you can see, I re-equipped my shield before as well, because we're going to need that for another bullet time bounce coming up. So this one is actually a little bit more lenient than the last one, because unlike with the one before, there's a decent chance that I can get a good one without actually getting the correct one. So the correct one will take me from here all the way to the next shrine. A decent one will take me a little bit, and then an okay one will take me a little bit further behind, but I can still land it. This one is hard to get the best one, but it's quite easy to get one that's usable, if that makes sense. I know I'm probably convoluting the situation a little bit, but it's kind of hard to explain as it is. So we're going to run over here, and luckily none of those bokoblins blew up, which is great. Because if they had, the run would be in jeopardy. Then we're going to accurately shoot an arrow and aim our bow to this little spot. And use axe for timing. I've bullet timed way too early, but it will give me a usable one, so that's fine. So the best way to get the best bullet time bounce here would be to start the bullet time just before you hit, but it's frame perfect. Oh, and the lag might kill me. Uh-oh. Don't kill me, lag. Okay. We got it. So the lag here can kill you. If you try and do a full damage cancel whilst you're lagging, there's every chance it will not take effect and you'll just drop and die, which is terrible. So coming up in a moment, we have the Magnesis Shrine. Now, Magnesis this is probably the most interesting shrine clip, because the way you, the way you get skew is through a shield clip again, but it's very precise, and then you do a very precise set of inputs. As you will see, it's kind of hard to explain what I'm actually going to be doing. So basically axe inputs along with a back jump with a forward shield jump allows me in. Alright, so we're just going to swim over to the shrine. Stand on this spot, aim, do a jump, and then a shield jump to get skew, which obscures our angle like we want to. And then we're going to aim our throw aim axe. Run up the... Ooh, that position's a bit... Yeah. Got it. There we go. And then we just want to do a standing shield jump at the right angle, which is going to hopefully clip us in. Perfect. Alright, so that's how you clip into the Magnesis Shrine. Obviously not the most optimal way, but it works, so we'll take it. So, a lot of people assume that the Any % Plateau speedrun itself is very... A lot of people I've heard say that this run is boring. This run is by far not boring. There's a lot of stuff in it that keeps it really interesting. And it makes it not only fun to do, but fun to watch. And I quite enjoy the run personally. I think it's great. It's a very nice change of pace because it's very intense. And a lot of speedruns have time for a lot of breaks, where this one you really don't because it's such a short run. You don't really have a lot of time for any breaks. So we're just going to re-equip our shield and Magnesis this out of the way and jump down. So there's actually a little trick coming up to get through this part a little bit faster. So this blocks it here. We're just going to Magnesis and walk into it at the same time, which allows us to just walk through, as opposed to just moving it manually, which is a little bit faster. There is a shield jump strat here, but I'm not going to do it because if I fail it, it's kind of slow and bad, so we're just going to do that. And then we're going to open these doors. If I was just doing this run on my own Twitch, I would do a lot more riskier strats, but because I'm not, I want to try and do as many safe strats as possible whilst keeping it interesting. Oh! And I do apologize that I forgot to remove the sounds off my live split. But hey, we're ahead of my PB, which is pretty good. Okay. So, immediately after this shrine, we actually have another trick that we used earlier called stasis launching, which again, like it did earlier, it's going to launch us in a direction. Now, unlike before, we're not launching upwards, we're launching outwards. So, if I could grab it, thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and position this so that the part close to me is sticking up, which that should do it. And then we're going to stand in front of it and turn around. This is going to allow us, when we swing our axe, to do back swings, which does 2 hits. And then we're going to stand on the thing and hold our shield and wait for it to end. And with any luck, we're going to side hop and end up right here. Now, I'm probably going to miss this trick because this trick is very particular. It's another bullet time bounce, but this one is very specific. He's not gonna move all the way. Okay, that's unfortunate. I couldn't even attempt it then. So if he doesn't come like too close, then I can't go for the bullet time bounce. That distance, I would never get it. So we're just gonna have to run to the next shrine, which is fine because I don't do that in my PB anyway, because it's a very, very, very hard trick to do, very RNG heavy, and well, if you mess up, you just have to walk anyway. So we're gonna do that. And we're actually getting to the last shrine of the run, which is bombs. So it's unfortunate that bombs isn't any earlier in the run because there is an interesting glitch called wind bombs or bomb impact launching. I prefer the term bomb impact launching personally. I think it sounds way cooler. I think it's just a better name for the trick overall. And what it does is, essentially, is what it states. It launches you. Now, the way it works is you do a very specific set of inputs, and basically you use 2 different kinds of bombs, and one bomb impacts into you and forces you in a direction, which is really interesting and a very cool trick. So again, like before, we're going to grab skew, and then we're going to get into the right angle. This is by far the most lenient shrine when it comes to its clip. Ooh, or not. It's the first time I failed that in a while. I actually don't have skew. Okay. I don't know how I don't have skew, but sure. Okay. Interesting. And now we're in. Okay. And then we're just going to do a shield jump, which should allow us in. There we go. Thank you, Lethal. I'm really nervous because unlike with Spyro 3, when I ran that for Blitz before, I knew that game a lot more than I know this one. I was really confident with that run, and in fact I got a PB during that stream. So there's actually a crazy good chance I could actually get another PB, which is actually intense and really cool. And it shows that my 6 hours of practice today actually paid off. I've spent the majority of today just practicing tricks to make sure that I can actually land them. Of course, nowhere near world record, but I consider a PB to be a win-win, which is very cool. Alright, so bombs. Now, I could do a wind bomb trick here. I'm not going to go for it because it's very hard and very stupid, so we're just going to go through it a little bit normally. We're going to change bombs here, grab one out, throw it, explode it, run ahead, and hopefully we're in time. We are, perfect. Then we're going to grab the bomb, throw it. Although I am going to do wind bombs here, so I'm going to do a shield surf there to lose my skew. And we're going to come to the edge here. Now, pull out a circular bomb, jump, pull it out, switch to square bomb, switch back, and boom. Or not. That's interesting. Okay. I assumed that since I lost my skew that would work correctly. I guess not. Interesting. This is why I didn't do it for the first part, because I didn't want to fail it 50 times, because there is a chance that that can happen. Oops. I forgot to blow up the other bomb. Okay. Damn it. I was worried this trick would fail a few times. There we go. And that pushes us right to the end of the shrine. Alright, so I can still PB, but I'm going to have to go for a very risky strat in order to do so. So normally the last part of the run is quite bland, because all you do is run to the Temple of Time to go and grab the paraglider. There is 2 faster ways to get there. The first one is a stasis launch from a tree. The second is a bomb impact launch. Now, I'm going to go for the bomb impact launch once. If I fail it, I'll just do it normally, and we'll still be way ahead of the estimate for the run. And if I get it, great, I pretty much will PB. Whereas, if I don't get it, then we still get a decent run anyway. This run's been pretty good, so I can't moan too much. And if anything, like, it just shows that, well, for people who've been watching me, like Lethal, Sporadic, Ninja, they know that I sometimes have really bad runs. We're actually going to shoot this Ancient very quickly. The reason we do that is because if you just go near the thing, it has a little cutscene that plays. So you shoot it first, and the cutscene just doesn't happen, which is very cool. And then we're going to run up here to a very specific point. Now, this is a very accurate impact launch. If I do miss it, I will probably die. So the way it works is, I'm going to come up to this little thing here. I'm actually going to do a manual save here very quickly, just in case. Because I don't want to end up back at the shrine. So we're going to climb about halfway up, pull out our axe, go about there. Ooh. Oh, I missed it by an inch. Okay, that sucks, but we'll just do it normally then. I was hoping that I would get it just right, but I missed it by literally an inch. That's fine, it's not a huge time loss. PB's dead, but hey, we still have a decent run, so I can't moan too much. Not bad at all. And comparing it to my PB, by the way, which my PB for a noob is pretty good, we've not had a bad run. A lot of the tricks have panned out the way I wanted to, so I can safely say that for this final section, I can say, again, thank you for letting me host my run at your event. Hopefully I'll be able to host more in the future. If you are not already following me on Twitch, don't forget to do so at Terrafirma Live. I'm sure someone will be kind enough to link that in the chat. And I hope that the rest of the runners have good runs, just like mine has. And I hope you will all help donate towards the cause, because the cause is fantastic. It's very nice that there are events like this that help people, which is very, very cool and very, very dope. And time will end as soon as we get through these cutscenes. But seriously, thank you guys. This has been a very, very awesome run. Around 22.5 minutes is definitely not bad for Plateau, not for a noob anyway. Time will end just about now. 22:45. Not the worst run I've ever done. So, like I said, thank you guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the runs coming up over the next couple of days. There are definitely some interesting games, so stay tuned for those, and thank you so much for having me on. So, GG guys.